Hey, lucky guy, you found me again. You found my lost signal. You must be special. But today I'm here to defend the indefensible, and I want you to listen closely. I know Nintendo is hard to excuse, and I am not here to whitewash the shady stuff they've been doing lately, or the way they are pulling the wool over their players' eyes, but there is an important distinction most people online forget to make. Hating for the sake of hating is fun, isn't it? You can't vent anonymously on the internet with zero consequences. No matter how brutal or over the top you get, you'll find others who echo you and pump you up so you keep going and feel validated by an angry mob. I want to push back against that today. I want to encourage you to use critical thinking, separate facts from opinions, and peel apart the different forces at work inside the system. In my last radio program, I said gamers don't want to think anymore. They just want pre-digested content so it's easy to swallow. That is part of the problem. When your favorite internet personality hates something and says it in a catchy, creative way, people adopt that as their own opinion without stopping to ask whether that's actually correct. Let's take the hottest target right now, Nintendo. Nintendo has a long, powerful legacy in gaming. Without them, a lot of games we love wouldn't exist. I adore a lot of what they've created, but I'll be blunt. Their recent practices are far from admirable. I'd even call them, some of them, abusive. Born from a fear of being overtaken by competitors. Everything I say here is speculative to some degree. Nintendo is extremely opaque, and it's hard to know what goes inside unless you work there. Assume, though, that Nintendo has layers, from junior staff to investors, team leads to developers. We need to distinguish between the development teams and the people in suits. No matter how hyped a dev team is to build something great, if the guy in the suit with the heavy briefcase doesn't give them the time, staff, or money, there is only so much they can do. Executives decide headcount, budgets, deadlines, and which resources a project gets. I'm sure many people on the Pokemon teams are painfully aware of the franchise's issues and how to fix them. I'm convinced presentations have been made to the higher ups, complete with charts showing player dissatisfaction. All that matters, but what about costs? Investors say the quiet things, the world of stats, cutting budgets to fatten investor returns. Those pressures can lead a CEO to ignore designer roadmaps and start hacking away at a plan until it's a coherent mess, half finished and dragged like Paldea. Don't get me wrong, I love Paldea because it's inspired by my country, but even I can admit it was an absolute disaster. Don't mistake that as blaming the team. It's the resources or lack thereof, the compressed launch dates, the producers, and its boosters pushing their priorities. Do you think the devs aren't embarrassed to ship something half baked? With the video game boom, everyone wants a slice of the pie. Indie studios and competitors are releasing high quality experiences that actually attract players. Yet, the greed of Nintendo's executives blind them to that reality. They could fix most problems simply by addressing the complaints players' voice most of the time, but instead they appeal to the pockets of the higher ups and ignore the rest. Now they are scared of competition, and that competition has learned. Look at Digimon, Palworld, or whatever your current favorite is. They've been polishing mechanics and reworking ways to make players enjoy themselves again. Sales momentum is building elsewhere, and Nintendo sees that if they don't step up, their franchise could eventually die. So what do? They sue people and patent systems that might endanger the very franchises they want to protect. They feel threatened and cornered, and they use only the tool they know they will work, instead of doing the simple thing, make a game so good players don't want to leave. But that collides with the people in Suits Creed, so I doubt we'll see a full-throated turnaround in the main series anytime soon. Maybe in a spin-off, at best. Pricing is another murky area. Nintendo has been guilty of many things here, but let me underline one point. Almost every other AAA company is doing the exact same thing and gets less heat. Criticism rains down, rightfully, on Nintendo, but who's criticizing Capcom for shipping a half-finished, poorly optimized Monster Hunter at $70? Only $10 less than Mario Kart? Well, maybe with all the DLC and extra content in the future, it could end up being worth these $70. But in the state it launched, it didn't deserve that price. Feel free to argue with me in the comments if you disagree. EA Sports and NBA franchises get released at 70 and hardly anyone screams. Yet Nintendo becomes a scapegoat for the internet when they price Mario Kart at 80. And yes, Mario Kart is not worthy of $80, no matter how you slice it. I own it. I bought it with the Nintendo Switch too, so I could give my honest, unfiltered take. There is no video game I can think of that justifies the 80 price tag. Not even GTA 6, no matter how massive the world or how photorealistic the graphics. The usual defense is that higher prices pay salaries and cover costs, but Nintendo's sales volume and the millions they've already made, they should have more than enough to recoup development costs. The real issue is that profit margins can't be normal. If they aren't enormous, big publisher says it's not worthy. They need to stuff their pockets with big stacks of cash. The game industry's bubble keeps inflating, but we've also seen team studios charge fair prices while releasing big games. Look at Baldur's Gate 3, Expedition 33, and the game of the moment, Silksong. These are projects by people who genuinely love their craft. They make us laugh, cry, fall in love with every corner of the world, and feel the human passion behind the work. Sure, everyone wants to earn money, but there's a difference between making money from an honest, joyful product and making it from a regurgitated game designed purely to extract cash by any means necessary. In conclusion, make your own opinions based on different factors. Don't let yourself be sheep, following just anyone's opinion because they have internet renown. You are better than that, big boy. I know you are. And thank you for listening. If you are listening here, you are truly special. Leave a comment if you would like. I am open to debate. See you next time.